Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today I am ranking all of the makeup I used in the month of March. There were 33 items this month, so let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get too far into the video, if you have not already, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I upload videos twice a week. It is totally free to subscribe, and I would love to have you back again on the channel to talk all things makeup. So some of these items are repeats of other months just because I have been trying really hard to use up items, but I'm happy to report there are several items that in the ranking I'll let you know they're gone, they're done, they're over, I've used them up, or moving on. So some of these I'll go through quickly because they have been in some of my other rankings. I'll leave the playlist I've got started of the items, and yeah, let's get into number 33. The worst product I used this month was of course the IT Cosmetics Skin Transforming Full Coverage Solid Super Serum. This was the lowest item in January as well. We're making progress on it. It's just very uncomfortable. It's thick. I can feel it on my face. It's not comfortable. It's cakey. Yeah, don't recommend at all, but we're trying to use it up. And number 32 is the Essence Mascara. I don't know how much of this I have left, but I've been using it almost every day, and I just don't like that I have to build it up to like 3 coats and spend the time to get it to a place I want. I'm wearing it today, and I don't like it's starting to do a little bit now. I don't like that it transfers up here to my brow. It doesn't do it right away, but usually if I'm wearing it, I mean, I wear my makeup for a while, guys, like 8+ hours. That's usually when it transfers, and a lot of mascaras don't do that to me, and this one does. So it's not one I recommend for sure. And number 31, I've been using this Avon palette, the Pretty in Neutrals makeup palette. Honestly, mostly just for the black. That's the shadow liner I'm using today. I've been trying to use up a particular palette later in the ranking, a face palette, and I've been using it on the eyes as well, just because I'm trying to pan it and go through it quicker. But I always feel like I have to have a liner for a look to be complete, so I've been dipping into this black just because it's there. But it's not very pigmented. I mean, on a daily basis, it's not terrible. Like, you can see it. It's really sheer though, and it almost becomes like gray charcoal instead of a black, which is fine. It's just like cheap quality in my opinion. And number 30 is the face palette I was talking about. This is the Laura Gellar Red Carpet Ready Palette Face and Eye. I didn't put this in my eyeshadow ranking. I always rank like separately in a different video all of the eyeshadow palettes I use each month because it's just 3 and one of them is an illuminator. So it's like 2 eyeshadows and 1 face product, so I don't really count it as a palette. But I do have this in my Planning to Pan 24 items in 2024 series. I will leave that linked. I just did an update as well on all of the items I'm trying to pan. So this isn't terrible. It's just like basic. So I'm kind of over it and ready to move on to better items. Number 29 is a product I used up. This is the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. I felt like this, like it felt nice going on, but then it would absorb quickly into the skin and just be gone. It was like wetting my face with water, it drying, and then that was it. Like, there were no lasting effects really, in my opinion. Sorry, my hair's doing a thing. So yeah, it was like, why am I putting this on if it's not really doing much to like prep the skin for makeup if it just like disappears? So it was just a little mini, used it up, but I don't recommend it. But it didn't do anything bad. Like, it didn't give negative effects to my makeup. It just like was kind of neutral. Number 28 is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, the original. This has been working okay. Like, my eyeshadow's not creasing or anything, but I don't know. It's just like the consistency of this. Like, I'm having a hard time getting the applicator coated with it every time. I've used this product before and I don't remember that happening before, so I don't know if it's just this particular component or if mine's getting old or something, but I don't like it as much as I thought I liked it. Like, remember liking it from the last time. So yeah, I don't know that I like that one either. I liked, there's a Wet n Wild one without an applicator that I think does just as well, especially considering the price of that Urban Decay one. So I can't rank it any higher than that, seriously. And number 27 is the MAC Skin Base Visage. I've been working on this as part of my planning to pan as well. And this is okay. I'm really into things that like hydrate a little bit more right now. I think that's partially because of the foundation I've been using and needing to pair it with a more hydrating primer. But this is more of that like slippery, silicone-y, like pore filling, used to be all the rage kind of primer. And I'm not really into those kind of slippy primers anymore. So we'll use it up, but yeah, it's not bad. It's just not my current vibe. And number 26 is another item we completely used up. This is the Balm liquid lipstick in shade Committed. And yeah, this is like one of the old school kind of crusty, drying, a little uncomfortable liquid lipsticks. Got a little mini one in an Ipsy. We totally took the stopper out and completely used it up. But that's another one that is completely gone and done out of the collection. So obviously they won't be in rankings anymore. And I'm not buying any more of those crusty liquid lipsticks, let me tell you. There are plenty that are like comfortable, like Menagerie is a really comfortable liquid lipstick that is long lasting. So I don't know if their formula is like that anymore anyway, because that is several years old from the Balm, but I'm done with the crusty liquid lipsticks. I mean, I still own several, I'll use what I have, but we're not buying anymore for sure. So all of the products so far have been ones that I feel like are bad. I would not recommend them. Now we're in 25th place. We're kind of in the middle where there's nothing wrong per se. They're just kind of meh, in my opinion. The St. Luxe Brow Gel is next in 25, and this is fine. It does what it needs to do. I mean, it holds the brows really well. It's a little crunchy, a little more than I would like. I like kind of like a soft hold, but it looks really great. The applicator's a little bigger than I would like, but it does a fine job, and like I feel like I've been really liking the way I've been doing my brows lately, and yeah, no qualms there, but it's not like earth-shattering, life-changing product for me. In number 24, the Milani lipstick in shade Shoop. I was using this to work on it for my Deck of Panning series. I will leave that linked if you're interested. This is all I have left of this lipstick, which is still a decent amount, right? Nothing's wrong with this. Love the color, love the scent. I just didn't rate it any higher because I do feel like as I use it more and more, I'm realizing it's a pretty stiff formula. It's a little tuggy when I'm putting it on, not maybe as creamy as I would like, and maybe it used to be creamier, but again, it's an older product. Like I said at the beginning, I've been trying to use up more of my older products to just get them out of the way, to move on to some newer things in my collection. So not bad, but ready to like use it up and have it go. But that one may be in some future rankings as I work on using it up the rest of the way. And number 23 is the KVD Big. In number 23 is the KVD Go Big or Go Home mascara. I actually really like this big component with the raised letters on it. This one, I've mentioned it in other rankings, the fact that I like it so much more than the Essence mascara, but I have had to add some like eye drops to it because it's started to dry out a bit, and that did change the formula of it some, so I don't love it as much as I did when it was new, but I do really think it is a good mascara. And yeah, that's kind of like my next one I'm using up once the Essence is done, or on a day where I'm like, oh no, this is an important event, like I can't be having the mascara transfer, I'll use this one instead. And number 22 is the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Full Coverage Concealer. Mine's in shade Fair Neutral. I really like the coverage of this, but I think I said this last month, it's a little too drying under the eyes. That makes them look a little more creasy and crepey than they need to, but I have been enjoying it a lot for spot concealing. It has great coverage. It's just not going to be, I don't think, an under the eye concealer for me at 32 at this point, but we're using her to spot conceal and she's doing a great job for that. And number 21 is the NYX Tame and Frame Brow Product. This is what I use to fill my brows. I think I just didn't rate it higher because it is getting a little dry, a little chunky. Like I have to work more to like have it be an even texture throughout the brows. I think it's getting a little older, but it does also look like the amount I have left is getting thinner and thinner in there. I don't know how close I am to hitting pan, but it's it's been a good product. Like, it was creamy when it started, but not so much anymore just because it's old. So I believe I'm getting sent a brow pencil from e.l.f. So we'll see. I'm sure I'll probably get that before this is totally used up, but be curious to compare the next month when that comes in, the two of these, to see which one I like better. And number 20 is my Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Palm Beach Ready. There's not much left. I'm just scraping the sides. Like, here's the shade up here. There's not much left. I have been liking how this looks. I have found I like it best when I use a diffused brush. Otherwise, it's like a stripe of highlighter because of how much mica is in it. And then I like to pair it with a matte blush so that the only glow shimmer is coming from the bronzer. I find it's a bit much when I do a glowy blush on top of the glowy bronzer for me personally. So it's not bad. We're still in that category where it's not bad, but like, it's just okay. And number 19 is the Revlon Candid Foundation. And girl, she's gone. We used the whole thing up. We used the whole complexion product up, you guys. A whole foundation. Yay! And yeah, this one, same thing I said last month. I do like this foundation, but I felt I needed to baby it a little bit. Like, it looked good with some primers. If I didn't use something hydrating with it, it was kind of cakey in settled places. But with a hydrating primer, it looked so good, and it was very long lasting, and it wore evenly and kind of faded naturally, which I really, really like. So I wouldn't be mad to have this again, but it's not like the best foundation I've ever had in my entire life. The shade match though was killer. I have neutral undertones and I'm pretty fair. I use shade 110 and that was great for me. And number 18 is the Ulta Beauty Flower Powder. I've only got a little bit left of this, so maybe like next month could be it for this one. I really, really like that this is very smoothing, very brightening. It's a pink powder. Yeah, don't have bad things to say about this. Okay, I lied. I have one bad thing to say about it. Because it is infused with rose oil, it has a very artificial rose smell that I do not like. So, ooh, I just caught a whiff of it. That makes it a little like, hold your breath while you're using it. Luckily, that smell diffuses and doesn't last on the face, but it's not my favorite because of the scent. And number 17, we're starting to get into products that are good, that I do like more. This one though, can we tell the problem? Honey, they're labeling this shade as fair/light. Fair/light. There is one shade lighter than this. This is shade 2, and I thought, I'm not like porcelain, you know? I'm not the fairest person in the world. I'm not. There are people that are much fairer than I am. So I got shade 2 and it's too dark. It's too dark. I can't use it right now. I've used it once and said, oh, I can't use this right now. So I didn't like return it or anything because honestly I had it past probably when I could have returned it before I even tried it. So shade 1 would be better for my fairness, but I'm just going to keep it and wait till I get a bit of a tan mid to late summer and work on using it then because I liked the glow. It just like, you know, was giving us a bit of a difference when I used it. So it's hard to rank it higher because I can't like fully test it yet. And number 16 is the Colourpop Lip Oil in shade Rain Check. This one's almost gone, you guys. I'm wearing it right now over, actually the Balm, the liquid lip, I just used that up like today, was scraping it and done with it. So I've got the lip oil over the remnants of that lip shade. And yeah, it's the same as last month. Like the paddle's just flat that I don't like and the funky smell. So not much different than the last time I ranked it, but that's where it fell this month. And number 15 is the Melt Lip Liner in shade Headbang. It is this brown shade. We don't have too much left of this one either, but I still maintain like last month. I can't rank it higher when the Unearthly ones I got for $3 with how expensive these are on Melt's site. I don't know about all that Melt. So they're good, but they're not like, oh, I have to rank it number 1 or anything like that. The number 14 is something that I really was surprised by. This is from Morphe. I'm wearing it today, and this is their cream blush. It says cream. I disagree with that. I don't think it's cream at all. I think it's liquid because when you squirt it out here. Let me show you. It's like a little applicator and you do this and it is very watery, like very liquidy. I've been using this e.l.f. Putty Blush Stippling Brush to blend it and it's really hydrating, which I'm liking right now as I've been, which is weird for me. I'm usually combo. I've been weirdly dry lately. I think it's the tretinoin, like the retinol I've been incorporating into my skincare as I get used to it. This is in shade Verified, but I've been loving this. I've been loving this and going back and back and back to it. The only thing I wish was a little different is I do wish it was a little more pigmented. It's pretty subtle, but it's really nice for those like no makeup days. Like this to me is like very, I mean, you can see I'm wearing makeup, I guess, but it's natural and it's like a little bit of color, but just enough to have like a little flush. So it's great for days like that. And I've just really been liking it. And the fact that I got that at TJ Maxx for $5.99 and it looks this like glowy and it just gives you like a healthy appearance. I think it's like a baby bit of like orange with just like a little teeny bit. But yeah, it's not my perfect product because I do wish it had a little bit more pigment. I love a blush moment. And number 13 is the gloss from Nimya, and I'm looking in front of me and my desk is, I'm not gonna lie, a bit of a mess right now. I don't know where my couple of Nimya products got off to, but I will leave the video linked where I'm trying all of that stuff on for you. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It just, it was okay. Like it wasn't life-changing. It was way more sparkly in the tube than it was on the lips, and that was kind of disappointing to me, but a very comfortable gloss and very like plump looking. Hello, it is a different day. It is a different week. Long story short, my battery died, so I had to finish filming that day, and then a tornado hit my town. So everything's fine, everyone's fine. There was a lot of damage in my town, but it was on the other end of town, so we were really lucky. There was no damage, but there was no power or internet for a while. So I'm finally coming back to you all to finish filming this video for our top 12 of the month. Yeah, what a weird thing in the middle of the video, but I just wanted to say something before going on as to like why it's a totally different day. I look different, my clothes are different, you get it. So number 12 is the Adept Valentina palette, and it is just really pretty glowy blushes. I don't want to say shimmery because it is really fine. It is more of a glow, and they don't accentuate texture too much, which means a lot to me as someone who has a lot of texture and is very porous. And number 11 is the Freck Slime Light Multi-Mineral Hologram Highlighter. This is like subtle, as subtle as you can be for being like a blue pink color. Let me put a little on my hand. So I think you can see it like not blended out. That's what it looks like a little pink blob. But then when you move it all out, see, it's just like this little sheen. You can see a little bit on my hand. It's, dare I say, natural. Again, it's a pink to like bluey purpley duochrome. There you can see on my finger a bit better, but it's subtle and it's really nice when it comes to like cream products. Like today I'm wearing the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I'm wearing a Morphe cream blush. This would have been great over top of it. I just wasn't feeling highlighter personally today. I'm going after this to get my wedding dress fitted, so I wanted something like really neutral to go for that. But that's really nice. I would recommend that. I got it on sale at Sephora. I just don't reach for it all the time, so I didn't rate it any higher than that. And number 10 is this liner from Sugar Drizzle. You can still get this item. The sale is over, but I'll link my video where I talked about my favorite Sugar Drizzle items and recommendations for the sale. The only con to this is because the brush is so fine, you do have to dip in several times to kind of build it up, but the opacity is really nice once you do that, and I like these a lot. Again, I just didn't rank it higher because it is a duochrome situation. This one is like green to goldish yellow to like a pinky fuchsia color, so love it. Just doesn't go for like everything, I feel like. Number 9 is another one of these Adept face palettes, but this one is the Jana palette, And the Gianna palette, instead of blushes, is a bronzer and 2 highlighters. Now, if I'm being honest, I haven't been wearing that much highlighter lately. I've just been doing really like dewy, luminous, glowy things instead to get the shine instead of highlighter. I'm not done with highlighter forever, don't worry. I go through phases. But the bronzer itself gets this the number 9 ranking, to be honest. You can see the divot starting in this. It's such the perfect neutral option if you are having neutral undertones like me and are fair. It's so excellent, just the shade and the formula. Oh, I really, really hope that Adept at some point does these in singles instead of just palettes so that I could repurchase like just the one thing. I just didn't rank it any higher because I feel like, I don't know, bronzers aren't like the most exciting thing in the world, but I have been getting a lot of use out of it. And number 8 is an item that I used a lot last month because it was in my Deck of Panning series. I'll leave that linked if you're interested. And this is a glowy serum. I was using it as a primer. It's blue. It's from Nimya. And yeah, this just really is a very hydrating dewy primer. If you're combo, more mature, dry, or you just have a foundation that's a bit too matte, mixing it with that really, really helps it have more of like a natural finish, in my opinion. The component isn't my favorite, the like dropper situation, but I don't know how else they would do like a serum instead, because like a squeezy tube, I don't know. The Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop Lit component I like a lot, and it's liquid, so maybe something more like that where you can squeeze it. I mean, you can squeeze this too, but I'm being picky now. But it's really good. I feel like people kind of sleep on Nimya a bit. And number 7 is the Benefit Professional Super Setter. This is my number 1 favorite setting spray of all time. Just bought another one. This one's almost gone as a backup in the Ulta sale because it's that good. It's so fine. It keeps everything locked in. It's not too over drying. But much like the bronzer, I feel like it's a setting spray. It's not that exciting, you know what I mean? So I didn't rank it any higher, but it's so good. And number 6 is a new item for me. Now, this is from Ace Beauté. I will leave link to the video where I did a try on of this. This is their Ultimate Sculpt Face Palette. You guys, I'm wearing today the e.l.f. Putty Primer, and I've just been using it up. You can see, look, there's pan in the middle there. But I've been trying to use it up because it is a bit stiff. And I think this is going to be my replacement for it, particularly this shade here. It is so creamy, it blends itself. It's not stiff at all compared to the e.l.f. one. I haven't used a lot of cream bronzers, so I'm dabbling more into that. But oh my goodness, this is lovely. And this has been really good for when I'm super fair. I'm hoping this one will work when I have a tan. I don't know about these two, but we'll see what I can get away with. Maybe I can do like a little underpainting situation to use them, but just a really nice compact palette for a great price point. I think the only thing I don't like about it is that you have to get all 4 shades. I would have rather have gotten one, but I know with especially smaller indie brands, it's easier for them to do sometimes like one SKU that has all the colors versus pay for X number of quantity of separate SKUs of different shades and hope that they all equally sell. Okay, this is bad. Number 5, I don't know where it is. I apologize. It's the Nimya Cream Blush. Little peachy one, about yay big. If you want to see it, again, look at my indie video there where I was trying out the indie products that I got. That's really nice. Right now, today, I'm wearing this one, the Morphe Cream Blush in Verified. But it's just like a baby little light, barely there flush. This Nimya one is buildable and it is a pop, but it's like moussey and blurring and just a really unique texture that I haven't played with before, and I really, really like it. Like, might need another different shade like it. That's how much I like it. In number 4, who would have thought? A powder from Jaclyn Cosmetics, the Luminous Powder. I got mine in shade Do Me. I think I need to find something that's a dupe for this because Jaclyn Cosmetics, if you didn't know, they're closed. They went out of business. And this, I don't think I've ever tried a powder that I've liked this much. No, I don't think I've ever tried a powder I've liked this much. It really leaves my skin looking natural. It's set, but it's not drying. It doesn't pick up on dry spots. And yeah, if you see this anywhere, like, on Mercari or anything. It's excellent. In number 2, this was also an item that I got more use out of because of my Deck of Pan series. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio in Pool Party, and I've really been liking this one. It's this little trio of 3 colors. We have more of like a nudie borderline brown shade, a pinky, and then a like really cool tone pink with, it has gold glitters in the middle. I don't know if you can see the glitters or not. I got this at TJ Maxx a long time ago, and I remember at the time being like, okay, $12.99 even at the TJ Maxx price. Like, that's usually more than I pay for a powdered blush, if I'm being honest. But I wanted to try it out, and I'm really glad I got it because it's really versatile, and I've been liking it a lot. And now I'm like, okay, does Anastasia do powder blushes now? Like, I think they still sell these trios. I looked it up at one point, but they're normally much more expensive. Like, it says compare at $20. I wouldn't buy it for $20. I don't, if I'm being honest, would I buy it again for $12.99? I don't know. So it's rated high because it is good, and I did like it and use it so much this month, but I don't know. Other powder blushes might be just as good and get ranked just as high. I just truly didn't use any other powder blushes this month. If I used a different blush, it was a cream blush, so I don't feel like those are comparable. And at number 1 is a single shadow. You guys, if you've not heard of Touch of Glam Beauty, they're expensive, I'm not gonna lie, but holy smokes, they're like the holy grail of single formulas. Like, you need just the babyest little touch of this to cover your whole eyelid. This is the shade Stop Complainin', Stop Competin'. I'm gonna just barely touch it to show you guys. So you could sprinkle like a little bit like this on if you wanted, just to give it like an ethereal topper effect. But it is the most fun multi-chrome. It's like got a neutral beige base, but it shifts kind of like gold and green. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Oh my goodness. I have so many fun single shadows, but again, this is from Touch of Glam Beauty. I have a whole bunch of singles, but that is this one right here that I used a lot this month. And that was my favorite non-eyeshadow palette thing that I used. Maybe that's cheating because it's still eyeshadow, but a lot of other items I used too this month, right? 33 items. So sorry it took me so long, but as I said before, tornado, Mother Nature called. It is what it is. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end, and I hope to see you again on the next one. Bye.